Yes, my people. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. So I'm just going to do a market review on the 3rd of June, 2025. So this is currently the 1 hour chart, and it's literally similar to yesterday. We have this bigger zone, and within this bigger zone, if I just narrow it down, then I will theoretically use this zone, and then can you see how we have SPS within this zone? As this is my one, that's my two, this is my three. Price got swept 4, 5, and remember what I said? Yes, I think it was yesterday. How I wouldn't take this trade only because we are below the SMAs. So once we've actually traded above it, we've come back to potentially like retest something. Then you could potentially look for the longs. So it is clear to say that on my 1 hour, price is bullish. So I could use that top down analysis from a higher time frame and start to look for longs on the lower time frame to match my higher time frame bias. So if you go to the 5, so if you go to the 5, this is what I saw when I hopped on the charts. 3 o'clock is my training time, as you guys already know. So initially I was like, you know what, the zone starts from here, and theoretically, if yes, as I was saying, this took the high, and I didn't want to use this one here because, as you can see, we wicked the high, fell to kind of close above this high. So I was kind of looking for a new zone, and even if I look at things from an internal point of view, this has already been mitigated. Tapped something on the left and then a shot higher. As you guys can already see, you had your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then price shot higher. So I couldn't have even used technically the SNDR within this, if that makes sense. It's a little bit odd, but I don't know how to explain it in my head. But anywho, all I done was just wait, and yeah. So this is a swing high because this candle's higher than the one to the left and then the one to the right. But this is a bearish candle. This is a bearish candle. Can you see this is a bullish candle? And we have clearly closed below it first. So I know that this is a validated swing high on my 5 minute chart. So it's not the most prettiest zone. And like even when I was trying to mark at SPS, I didn't know if I was gonna mark it like this. 1, 2, 3, then wait for 4, 5. Or I didn't know if I was gonna mark it this way, where it would have been 1, 2, 3. Obviously, price already swept there. 4, 5. So I was a little bit unsure what way I wanted to mark at SPS. So I just went with the safer option, which was this one, because we had this area which was still unmitigated. So if anything, this could end up being my liquidity, taking a couple people out, and then hopefully we come back, tap into this, and we start pushing up. So obviously the way price was moving, it looked like it was taking its time. So I went down to the 1 minute, and when I went down to the 1 minute, can you see how that this was a proper zone on the 1 minute? So all I done was use technically this internal. Well, all I done was use this zone here from this area here. That's all I done. So in hindsight, I'll even skip this. But in hindsight, this was my 1, this was my 2, this was my 3, 4, and then 5. Obviously, we tapped into this wick fractal, as you guys should already know. A wick fractal is just a hidden area of supply and demand. And again, I used the other entry that you guys don't really know, but again, it's very similar to CSS, and it worked out anyways if you was using CSS. So I'm gonna just use the CSS entry as that's what you guys would know. I don't wanna show you guys this new one yet, and then again, you guys are making mistakes that should not be happening. So obviously just let price play out, let price play out. So I took my money out at a 2R, and then obviously we had another well, let me just remove this for a sec. So obviously we had another SBS, internal SBS. You could say SBS combo, really depends on you. At first I had this as my 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens next. Yeah, price, look, literally price swept. And then obviously, you know, I want price to push on higher. Just like that. So one, actually no, sorry. It was like this. 1, 2, yeah, 3. Obviously look, price clearly swept. And then obviously now I just wanted to push on higher. So that was an extra confirmation that potentially what price wants to carry on higher, but that wasn't the case, as you can see right now. That wasn't the case. Price ended up seeing these low. So again, someone else might have SBS as this being the one. That's, wait 1 second. Sorry, let me just move that. So someone else might have the SBS like this. Where this is the, where is it? That's it. Sorry. That's the 1. That's also the 2, 3. As you guys can see yourself. Price clearly swept. 4, 5. Let's add. You know. So again, tap the 618 nicely to the T, and then obviously look what's happened now. Price shot back up, and obviously we understand that if price is making higher highs and higher lows, we should end up taking out our previous higher high. So if you just zoom back out and we look at our swing points, we had a, actually no, it's not from here. We had a low, higher high, higher low, and now we've made a higher high. So now what should you now expect? For us to pull back, tap into something on the left, make a new higher low, and take out our previous higher high. And that's just how the game goes, guys. Like, you know, as long as you follow the plan, you follow your setups, like, there's not much there is when it comes to the strategy. You know, all it is, like, let me get out the notes again. 1 second. There's not much to the strategy. So do we, oh, let me check for RSI. Yeah, I thought we did, because on US Tech it wasn't on RSI, but here it was. So look, we had an RSI as well, so that's an extra confluence that price wants to what, shoot back up. So again, if I go back to my checklist, price was bullish, you know, not just on my 1 minute, my 5 minute was bullish, my 1 hour was bullish, you know, so all 3 time frames was bullish. Clearly we was in the expansion leg, or you could say we was pulling back at the time, and then our price wanted to expand. It wanted to be in the continuation. 220 was both bullish. Obviously we tapped it on mitigated zone. We had SBS, tapped into this wick fractal. You could also say slash SNDR or the origin. It really depends, up to you. This was a higher time frame zone, because remember, if I go back to the 5 minute, remember I had the zone like this. Oopsie. Initially I had the zone like this, and this was a valid zone. So we've come from a 5 minute zone. Even if I should draw from this low to the high, look what we've done. We tapped the 618 to the T, and look what's happened. Price has shot back up. So like this stuff ain't a coincidence. Like honestly, this stuff ain't a coincidence at all. Even if I'm gonna come back to the 5 minute in a hot sec. I'm just get my notes again. Yeah. So obviously we didn't have an imbalance at the time, but we had trend lines. So we had trend line liquidity. We were price respecting that trend line. You could also say we had a trend line break going the other way. Obviously we had RSI divergence, which I've just shown you guys, and it was an area of discount at the time of this wick fractal. Obviously you could have used the 618 as an entry. S&D flip, you guys don't know about that one yet, but we also had CSS, and you obviously could have had a buy stop, sell stop. It really depends up to you when it comes to entry confirmation. And then yeah, so again, checklist is very simple. We ticked most of these boxes here in the areas of interest. I used the entry confirmation that helped me take this trade. You can even say SBS combo, trendline SBS, like the list goes on. But if I go back to my 5 minute and I just remove all my charts, remember how I said I didn't know if I should have used this as my SBS free, obviously wait for the sweep. But initially if I use this one, 1, 2, 3, obviously the price swept, 4, 5, and obviously if I take out my fib from this low to the high, what did you do? Tap the 618 to the T. So now what could you have done? You could have entered, start at the bottom of the zone, because that's your protected low initially, and then that's even your trade right there. Again, it doesn't look the cleanest, but it is SBS, guys. So you have to understand, if you see the setup, trade the setup, have your entry confirmations, do whatever you need to do, and potentially get in. So even like with this, if you're confused, what do you have to do? Just go down to a lower time frame. You want to make sure that it aligns with your higher time frame, and that's about it, guys, man. That was a trade that I caught. Again, the entry on the 1 minute is not how I actually entered, but that's a way that you guys all know. The other way, I'm still refining a little bit more before I share it out. But that's it from me. That's it from me for today. What was I gonna say? Always remember, guys, victory belongs to the most tenacious. Yeah, victory belongs to the most tenacious. So let's start getting tenacious. Let's start actually putting in the work. Let's start just being brave, and yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in. I hope to see you guys again. Ciao.